Hello, today we're going to be looking at an introduction to WeVideo. There are a lot of things that WeVideo will do, so we're going to start out slow. Today we're going to be just looking at editing videos inside of WeVideo, and we're going to do some basic things. There are lots that it can do, so we're just going to do some basics to get you started, and then you can continue to play around in here or come back for more video instruction from myself or Lee Cooper. But for now, let's get started. And first I want to remind you that after you log in with the VBCPS account, you do have to be approved, and there is a person that has to do that so that it doesn't get done instantaneously. If it takes longer than 24 hours for you to get into the VBCPS version, let me know and I can nudge the person along and let them know that we have some people that need approved. Alright, so once you're in, what do? This is your dashboard. This is where you will get started. This will see where you'll see any recent edits that you've created. You have a projects tab, a media tab, exports, groups. For now, we're just going to work with what we have in the dashboard. Like I said, there are many different lessons we can do from this, but we're just going to start off with some basics. You can record straight from here. We're not going to do that in this one. This one's just going to be on editing. You can create GIFs. You can work on podcasts. There are also some templates that you might want to use when getting started as well. I think this morning meeting one is pretty cool if you have daily meetings or weekly meetings with your students. There's some other options in here that you can look at if you're going to start a podcast with your students. You want them to start doing a video book report. I think this would also be really neat to share with students for an end-of-year project, I know. So getting started. To get started editing a video that you have, you're just going to click video, and I'm going to just save it under my projects, and I'm going to start editing. So these are some other videos that I've brought in. You're probably not going to have anything here. That's okay. This button here will allow you to import a video in from your computer or from your Google Drive. So I'm going to click import, and I'm going to actually import from my Google Drive. If it's something that's on your actual PC, you can click browse and select and pull it straight from there, or just drop and drag it from your desktop into here. I'm going to use this Google Drive. If you haven't already accepted, I've already accepted and allowed WeVideo into my Google Drive. If you'll have to click on your name and say that you allow it to open it. I'm just going to click on this assignment here and click select. And then give it a moment. I can see that bar down there says that it's still loading, so I'm going to give it a minute to load. This is where your selections are that you can choose from. These are your menu tabs that are going to be really helpful for you. So this is some stock media. There are tons of things. Right now it's on insects, but I could put in ocean. Tons of things come in. I'm just going to put nature. Tons of things come in. So there are so many different things that you can use as intros. So these are just intros or exits or something like that. So if I want to start with, let's see, that's pretty. And then I would drag it down here, and this is my workspace. You can start with, think of these as layers. So I can layer videos on top of each other and audio on top of each other. If I have more than 2 videos that I want to layer, if I pick the plus sign, I can add another video. So you're not confined to just 1 or 2. You can put in as many as you need, and there's audio clips here as well that you can add for sound or music on top of this. So I'm going to bring this in as my intro. And then I can come back up here. Remember, this tab here are the ones that are going to be super important. Stock are ones that are already on here and they're just clips. my media or the things that I brought in and my video is ready. We'll come back to that in a second. You can add text, and that could be another layer that I could put on top of this. So people have asked me before how I create my intro. I've actually created a video that's just my intro, and I've saved that, and I bring that in to the beginning of all of mine. But this is how I did it. And so you can pick which of these you like. There's ones that have some motion. There's some that are static that just stay still, which is what I use as a basic one. But you could liven that up and have motion. You have in season, so this is what's relevant right now. So we could use one to make graduation slides. There's Independence Day, Father's Day. That would be a fun one to do. Easter and St. Patrick's Day. So as you go down, it's older. But these are what's available for now in season. And then you can also do call outs and have some. So this is one when I need an arrow to point at something in a video or to circle it or add some additional text. This is where I would come for those items. So I'm just going to pick static for now because I like simple. And I'm going to bring it down to sample text. If I want it to go the whole way across this, all 30 seconds, I just drag it. If I double click on it, it's going to allow me to edit that text so that I could just call it I can put the name of my video on it. Intro to Alright, so I'm going to do that now. You can change the font. There are some options here. There's not a bajillion, but there are quite a few. I'm just going to keep this basic for myself right now. You have some basic editing options. I don't like that white on. I'm going to, oops, I need to be up here, not on the video. And up here, I'm going to make the size just a little bit smaller so that it all fits in one. Alright, so you have some other options up there. Once you have it the way you want, you can hit Save Changes. I also like to have my name in the bottom corner, so I can add another layer. I want it to stretch the whole way through. I'm going to double click on it so that I can get my editing. Alright, and add my name and description. Alright, and so then if you needed to change your font again, any other options there, I'm going to change that background from blue. That goes along with the fall. I'm going to keep that there. Alright, once you have your changes in place, make this a little smaller, you can hit Save Changes. And so now I've got 3 layers. I've got the layer that is my name tag, I've got the layer that is my title, and then I have the layer that is the stock media. And so that would play all together if we wanted to see what that looked like. I'm going to take this bar is where it's going to play from. And so I'm going to hit play. And it shows me. This is always a lower quality just because it's just a sampling than what it'll be when you actually publish it. So if it seems a little blurry, that's just because it always has a lower quality in this video editing option up here. I think this is a little long. I don't think I need this to be 30 seconds. So what I can do is I can clip it. So I'm going to come back. I want it to be, let's say, about half that. So I'm going to bring it to about 15 seconds. And I'm going to hit the scissors, and that's going to cut what I have. And then whatever's outlined, I can then cut that. I'm going to bring it so that this all lines up right here. And I'm going to cut that one. Cut and delete. With these ones, I can also just drag them. I didn't really need to cut it, which is why it didn't cut initially, because I can just click on it and drag it where it needs to be. I want these all to be about the same. All right. Back to the main layer, my video 1. I can add a transition here before I bring in my video if I'd like. So you have a lot of transition options here. Okay. And that shows you. I'm going to go with that one for now. And you just drag it down and it needs to be green. And that's going to be my transition. And I want to bring in my media now. And then this is the video that I had it loading. One more thing I wanted to show you. Back at the beginning, if I wanted to add music, which you guys, if you've seen any of my instructional videos before, I usually add music. There are stock audio in here if you have something that you want to use. There's free music, there's sound effects, and there's some premium music. I like the Upbeat Summer. And so I can bring it down here. I can shorten it up so that it's just going over to my where my intro is, and then I can have it gradually get lower and lower so that it fades out. And all I did was use this blue bar and it alters the level of sounds. So let's see what that intro looks like now that we've manipulated it.
Guys, there were some questions about how to.
All right, and then from there I can go in and I can edit my video that I've created. I find that if it's my video, I find it easier if I separate the sound and the video so that I can see where the different sound bits are. So once you click on your video, if you go to where the sound image is here and I click on the open audio option, it'll show the audio separately. And then down here in the corner, I can make this all a little bit bigger. And what that does is it lets me know where there are breaks. Sometimes I stop talking just to think about what I want to say next. And so I can cut out some of those dead spaces to make my video a little less long. And clip. And once I have that clipped, then I can cut out that section and drag it back together again, and then I've cut out any dead space. If I say somewhere and I want to cut that out, I can just cut that out as well and cut, and then I can cut that section out too. And so it looks a little choppy. Once I've done that, I'm going to click delete. But no one will see where these cuts are because it's going to go back together seamlessly. All right. Remember, your quality is always going to be lower resolution up here, but that's not what it's going to be once it's published, so you don't have to worry about that too much. I've got a big dead space here that I want to get rid of to shorten this up as well. And cut and delete. So that's how you can edit your videos within WeVideo. This is just an introduction. We're going to come back and get a little bit more in depth later. The same way we created an intro, if we wanted to, we could add an exit at the end by adding another stock image or some text. That's all up to you. All right, so I think that that will get you started, and then we will have some more intermediate and advanced options for WeVideo later on